In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is no light, no warmth, no comforting tradition to remind humanity of its better nature. Even holy seasons, meant to inspire hope and reflection, have been swallowed by endless war and the machinery of survival. On countless planets across the galaxy, ash falls like snow, covering the ruins of once proud cities, and the sound of carols has long been replaced by the echo of bolters and the grinding of tanks. Civilians huddle beneath shattered icons, their prayers silent, desperate, unanswered. In these worlds, the Marines Malevolent walk among the wreckage, not as saviors, but as arbiters of judgment. To them, compassion is a weakness, mercy is a flaw that must be excised. They do not celebrate Sanguinala with hymns or feasts, nor do they exchange gifts or offer forgiveness. For these Space Marines, Christmas is not a time of hope or joy, it is merely another operation, another mission in a war that never ends. Their eyes, cold and unyielding, scan the streets for utility and threat, and their sense of duty recognizes no distinction between the innocent and the expendable. While others cling to faith as a lifeline, the Marines Malevolent measure devotion only in obedience, in the ability to follow orders without hesitation, without question. And so, under the shadow of their armor and the weight of their judgment, the galaxy's most desperate citizens look on, praying for salvation that will never come, as the Marines Malevolent march on, relentless, unfeeling, and absolute. In order to understand the chilling reality of Sanguinala under the gaze of the Marines Malevolent, one must first comprehend the nature of this chapter and the worlds they inhabit. Across the Imperium, Sanguinala is a rare moment of light, a fleeting chance for humans to remember faith, family, and hope amidst unending toil and violence. Markets would once hum with children's laughter, churches would echo with hymns, and families would gather in silent reverence or joyous celebration. But on the worlds touched by the Malevolent, none of this remains. Cities are reduced to labyrinthine ruins, their towering spires broken and hollowed by siege, their streets choked with ash and debris. The cries of the needy, the prayers of the faithful, fall on deaf ears, or worse, they are met with scrutiny, measured for usefulness, for strategic worth. The Marines Malevolent themselves are an enigma of war, bred and trained to enforce absolute order. They do not fight for glory, nor for mercy, nor for the fragile sentimentality that others cling to in the darkness. Their sense of purpose is singular, their methods unyielding. To civilians, they are no longer symbols of protection but harbingers of judgment. They move through the remnants of human civilization like shadows of inevitability, their presence a constant reminder that in the 41st millennium, hope is a luxury few can afford, and faith is a currency that the Malevolent will spend only on obedience. In this landscape of fire and ruin, Sanguinala is not a festival, it is a crucible, revealing the stark truth of a galaxy where even the sacred is subject to the cold calculus of war, and the Marines Malevolent stand as its most merciless enforcers. The worlds of the Imperium, once bustling with life and devotion, now lie in the grip of ceaseless war. Towering cities, symbols of human ingenuity and faith, have been reduced to ash-choked ruins. Smoke rises in blackened pillars from factories and homes alike, and the ground trembles under the weight of relentless bombardments. Here, even Sanguinala, the season of light, hope, and family, means nothing. Once, bells would have chimed across cities, calling the faithful to prayer, and streets would have been filled with laughter, song, and warmth. Now, they echo only with the distant roar of bolters, the whine of lost cannons, and the groaning of collapsing buildings. Civilians move like ghosts through the wreckage, their faces drawn with hunger, fear, and despair. Children clutch tattered toys, remnants of a joy that no longer exists. Mothers whisper prayers beneath broken statues, their voices swallowed by the wind, pleading for salvation that will never come. Through this devastation, the Marines Malevolent march. Their armor, blackened and scarred, gleams dully beneath the red glow of fires that consume entire districts. Every step they take is precise, deliberate, and merciless. Buildings are not places of shelter but obstacles, civilians are not wards of protection but variables to be assessed. To the Malevolent, war does not pause for tradition. Ash falls where snow should lie, silence replaces hymns, and the very concept of mercy is irrelevant. The galaxy around them is measured in strategic value, tactical advantage, and operational efficiency. Here, there is no room for sentimentality, no place for hope. Yet, in the darkest corners, faint lights flicker, a child hiding beneath rubble, a mother clutching a broken icon, a solitary figure lighting a candle in defiance. These glimpses of humanity are fleeting, quickly erased by the inexorable march of the malevolent. They do not acknowledge sorrow, nor do they grant mercy, their gaze sees only utility and obedience. Sanguinala is not a season to be celebrated, it is simply another layer of chaos in a galaxy perpetually at war. For those who survive beneath their shadow, even the smallest act of defiance or hope becomes a dangerous gamble. And so, the worlds of the Imperium grind on, caught between the despair of war and the indifferent judgment of the Marines Malevolent. The Marines Malevolent are not merely soldiers, they are instruments of absolute judgment, forged in the fires of war and hardened against compassion. Their origins are obscured in secrecy, whispered only in fear and caution across the Imperium. Some say they were created to enforce purity where even the Adeptus Astartes feared to tread, to act where morality and mercy could no longer guide. Others claim they are a rogue experiment in loyalty and obedience, bred for efficiency at the cost of humanity itself. Regardless of their beginnings, the Malevolent have become synonymous with terror, a name spoken with trembling respect or outright fear. Unlike other chapters, they do not aspire to heroism or the preservation of the innocent. Their creed is simple: survival and obedience above all else. Compassion is a flaw, mercy a liability, and sentimentality a weakness to be eradicated. Every action, every deployment, is a calculated measure of tactical necessity. Civilians are assessed not for their right to life, but for their utility, a source of labor, a potential shield, or, when necessary, expendable. The Marines Malevolent do not ask questions, they execute judgment. And in doing so, they have become a grim reminder that even those who wear the Emperor's armor are capable of cruelty beyond comprehension. They are relentless, moving with military precision through devastated cities, their bolters trained not on traitors or aliens alone, but on any who might obstruct their mission. Their presence is a symbol of inevitability, a living declaration that in the 41st millennium, nothing, faith, family, hope, is safe from the cold calculus of war. They are feared not just by the enemies of the Imperium, but by those who serve it. Other Space Marine chapters, sworn to protect humanity, often view the Malevolent with wary suspicion, reluctant to interfere lest they too be judged and found wanting. To the Malevolent, loyalty is not moral, it is absolute, unquestionable, and enforced without hesitation. Each battle, each operation, strengthens their reputation as arbiters of survival in a galaxy where survival itself has become a ruthless contest. In the shadows of ruined cathedrals and ash-strewn streets, the Malevolent act not as heroes, but as living instruments of war. Their philosophy is stark, almost inhuman, yet horrifyingly efficient: obedience over mercy, survival over faith, tactical advantage over sentiment. And in every step they take, every life they judge, the worlds they touch are reshaped, stripped of hope, and forced to reckon with a simple truth: in the 41st millennium, even the Emperor's chosen are capable of cruelty that eclipses the darkness surrounding them. Sanguinala, the season of celebration and reflection, holds no meaning for the Marines Malevolent. Where the faithful once gathered to honor the Emperor and share fleeting moments of joy, the Malevolent see only strategy and operational necessity. Bells no longer chime, hymns have been replaced by the rhythm of marching boots and the staccato thunder of bolter fire. Candles, meant to symbolize hope and divine light, are extinguished by the cold shadow of their armor. To these Space Marines, Christmas is not a season, it is a battlefield, and every life, every structure, every prayer is evaluated in terms of utility and tactical value. Civilians attempting to cling to tradition are not protected but monitored, their devotion judged not for piety but for compliance. A mother lighting a candle, a child offering a prayer, even a priest reciting sacred texts, all are seen through the lens of operational efficiency. Will this person aid the mission? Can they be used, exploited, or eliminated? Compassion is irrelevant, hope is a liability. The Malevolent move through ash-covered streets with precision, eliminating threats and exploiting resources without hesitation, leaving behind only the echo of their cold resolve. Sanguinala, a time of potential forgiveness, of reunion and warmth, becomes instead a crucible of fear. Their presence strips away the comforting illusions of tradition. Where once families would gather, now there is silence. Where once carols would echo, there is only the hum of machinery and the distant roar of weaponry. Even the natural world seems subdued, the ash-filled sky a mirror to the darkness in the hearts of those who march under the malevolent banner. Yet, paradoxically, the remnants of faith still persist. In the shadows, small acts of defiance flicker, a child hiding a small ornament, a secret prayer muttered beneath rubble, but these sparks are fragile, almost meaningless against the overwhelming machinery of war. The Marines Malevolent are neither cruel for the sake of cruelty nor indifferent to the Emperor's will. They serve a higher purpose, but one that is measured not in kindness, nor in mercy, nor in hope. Their devotion is absolute, but it is devotion to order, obedience, and the unyielding execution of duty. To them, Sanguinala is a battlefield, a test of efficiency, and a reminder that in a galaxy of unending conflict, even the holiest of seasons can be reduced to another operation. For the humans who witness their march, there are no gifts, no forgiveness, no peace. Only the unwavering shadow of the malevolent, and the chilling knowledge that in the 41st millennium, hope itself is expendable. As the fires of war continue to consume the worlds of the Imperium, one truth becomes undeniable: in the 41st millennium, hope is a fragile, fleeting thing. The Marines Malevolent move through the ash-choked streets not as saviors, but as arbiters of judgment, their presence a constant reminder that mercy has no place in a galaxy defined by conflict. Even Sanguinala, a season meant to inspire faith and reflection, is stripped of meaning beneath the weight of their armor and the cold calculus of their mission. Civilians cling to shattered icons, their prayers unanswered, their traditions extinguished, yet the Malevolent see only utility, obedience, and tactical advantage. Every act of faith, every attempt at solace, is measured, evaluated, and often erased without hesitation. In these worlds, the familiar warmth of celebration has been replaced by the chill of inevitability. The laughter of children, the light of candles, the melodies of carols, all are replaced by the thrum of bolters, the hiss of machinery, and the unyielding march of warriors for whom sentiment is a weakness. The galaxy's most desperate citizens are forced to reckon with the uncomfortable truth that the Emperor's chosen, the defenders of humanity, can also be its most merciless enforcers. Compassion is sacrificed to duty, hope is subordinated to obedience, and faith is reduced to a mere tool of survival. Yet even in this darkness, a question lingers: what becomes of humanity when its protectors abandon the very principles they are sworn to uphold? For the Marines Malevolent, Christmas is not a time of hope, it is simply another operation, another calculated measure in an endless war. And for those who survive beneath their shadow, the echoes of Sanguinala are no longer a promise of peace, but a haunting reminder that in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, and survival comes at the cost of everything else. The light has gone, the carols are silent, and humanity endures, not through hope, but through the unyielding, merciless march of the Malevolent.